Segen von.
Oh, 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 happy Halloween! Woo! Hi, hi, hi! It's Mrs. Stitches. Happy Halloween, everybody! This is my floss tube number 27. I don't know if you can see it. There, I'll put it in the non-shiny bright light there. Floss tube number 27. It is October 31st. Happy Halloween! I have one finish and one new start and then a bunch of whips. And I'll recap 24 hours of cross stitch, which was really good for me. I got lots done. I was very, very pleased with it. So it's going to say fantastic, but anytime it's stitching, it's fantastic. So let's start off with, oh, I got to go get my notes. Hold, please. Here we go. Had to go down, get my notes. The longer I take, the better, because I'm waiting for, this is earlier in the morning than I normally film. And I'm waiting for the sun to come around so that you actually aren't getting blown out behind me. But I'm in shade, so it's fine. By the way, I realized I didn't say my name. My name is Sheila. I didn't know to do that. Okay, let's see if I can find my notes. I also grabbed a coffee while I was downstairs, so that shall help. Oh, look how dark I am now. Ooh. Okay, what month are we in? You know what month it is. It's October. Let's see if I can find my notes. Yeah, there they are. Hey. Okay. Oh, yes. Okay. Well, I'm going to start first with my finish. So, as you know, my husband was giving me a Halloween advent where I got a little piece of the puzzle each day. He, this is what the end product ended up being with. And it's funny because I actually have never heard of this. This is Calico Confectionery. And I found them, I think on Etsy. And she's got some really neat designs. So this is the end piece. It's called Haunted Hill. Now I did do some changes. I changed some colors. Did I stitch that part? Oh yeah, I did. Okay. And so some of the things I did was I didn't like the yellow here. You can't really make out that that is the man in the moon face type with the yellow. The yellow's too distracting. Down here is candy corn, and we thought, we're not big candy corn people. And I didn't like how it was just a witch's head just hanging there, because witch is a full thing. She's got more than just a head. So, and yum. Yeah, I love candy and Halloween. But anyways, I changed this whole section. I changed the skull and I changed the moon. I think those are the main, and I changed some colors here and there. This is my finished piece. So you can see the moon right away. Without putting the yellow in, you can actually make out that it is like a man in the moon face. I changed the coloring to Happy Halloween. That didn't come out very well, but that's okay. The spider web right here was super fun. It was a good spider web. And then down here, you'll see this witch. And I took that witch out of Teresa Kogut's Hello Halloween. So this is from this Halloween sampler. I did this witch right here. So she actually fit in perfectly. So that was nice because then I got to stitch. That was my first thing out of the Hello Halloween book. Oh, isn't she amazing? I changed her hair. Her hair was a little different, but otherwise she is as is in that book. The skull I took from Halloween at Hawkrin Hollow, one of the skulls there. So I took it out from there and did it. And I just charted my own words. You can't really see it. It just looks like green glowing there, but it says cackle instead. And that is Halloween Hill. The finish. So I will fully finish this before next Halloween. That'll be, I think it worked out well this year in the early part of October doing per each video fully finished. So I'll put that in the pile to be fully finished. I might do it beforehand. We'll see. Yeah, we'll see. Okay, now my new start. I was so anxious. I was supposed to start this today, but I actually started last night. So my rules I made for myself was I had to finish that first. I finished that on Saturday, and so then I thought Sunday, get my other chores done and I can start. So I did that. So Glendon Place Witch's Wheel. And so that's what Witch's Wheel is going to look like when it's done. It is a mix of just black and beads, just beads. And so I'm not going to take it out of the hoop because this is all there is started, but I have started this is all beads down here, and it is just so shiny and pretty. It doesn't come out as well, but it is really, really pretty. And then that's the first of a witch and one of the cats. So that's the start of Witch's Wheel. It is fun. This is just working on it last night. I was shocked at how quick it was going. The beads actually took a lot longer. They took probably an hour, and then I just started going on the black. So great, great fun. That is fun. Okay. Now, 24 hours of cross stitch. So I had a plan going in. My plan was I was way behind on the Halloween Hill. And so first I wanted to get caught up. So I didn't count my stitches. I think the phone's going to fall again. If the phone falls, I'll have to put you back up. I didn't count my stitches. I'm going to pause. Hopefully that's better. I could just see the phone moving. It's in a stand, but it didn't look like it was doing it. So didn't count my stitches. And instead what I did was I just focused on getting what I wanted to get done. So I worked on Halloween Hill, probably spent about 6 hours or maybe, no, 12 hours, 12 or 13 hours on it, just getting caught up. I was shocked at how far I was behind. So essentially I opened up all the colors and he gave me 2 squares, but I had skipped parts of the squares because I was missing the colors. He would only give me a color and a piece of the pattern, and he had bought a bunch of colors, and a lot of colors weren't actually in the pattern, and then he didn't even get, like, there were probably 7 colors that weren't even there. So in the end I just substituted and got those in. So it was a process, but got it done. So after I got caught up, then I gave myself that I was going to get caught up on my Dark Queen of the Earth. And so I did that. And that is what we got. So there's just a little back stitching. I'm saving back stitching for the end, but it is pretty and it's amazing. Somebody said this on the Facebook group, the designing, how you get the shadow effect. So see all that right there? That's like a shadow effect, just doing it with colors, and shadow effect over there to have, like, she's got leaves or something in her dress. It's gorgeous. So obviously that's a woman's dress, but oh, it's beautiful. So that felt good getting caught up, because I was a little anxious being behind, and I want to stay on top of it because I know it's a big stitch. So that was good. Then, so that was, I started at Friday just after midnight. So I stayed up. So Thursday night I did not go to bed. I had a tiny little nap the evening of Thursday on the couch, and then got up or started stitching at midnight. And a little trick is I still did some stitching on Thursday, but mostly I just try to do some cleaning up a bit, so that I can have a bit of a clean conscience of just 24 hours stitching. So midnight to 6 a.m. went smoothly. I listened to audiobook. I listened to the whole audiobook. And then, yeah, the whole day went really well. You know, I think I fade a bit around 3 in the afternoon or so, but for the most part, it went well. And so I was happy with what I got, but then I still had the whole weekend. I had Saturday and Sunday. So I had seen that Stitching Moon was going to do 2 hours on each project and try to do 12 projects. So I thought, oh, that's a good idea. I like that. She did a fantastic 24 hours cross stitch video. Go check her out. Stitching Moon. Stitching Moon Design. She has designs, but check out her 24 hours of cross stitch video. She's an American living in Norway, and oh, she did really great. I'm going to copy her next year or steal her idea. She did it all like just not having her in it and just showing down the before and the after, and it just, I found it really entertaining to watch. So I'm going to do that again next year. So anyways, what I did was I did a spin and I came up with 12 projects, because I actually have more than that. Wrote on a piece of paper all the 12 that I spun and picked, put them in a bag, and then randomly picked them. So we're going to go through. I knew that what I was going to have would be one of these 12. Now I didn't get through them all. I only got, I think, 1, 2, 3, 4, got 8 done, but I actually was still working on my Halloween hill. So I'd put 2 hours, I still gave more squares of it. So I'd put 2 hours each day in it. So I really got 10 done in the 2 days. So 22 hours of stitching in the 2 days, plus the 24 hours beforehand. So I did good enough. Okay. So first one that got picked was Fruits of Plenty. We haven't seen that forever. Now I do have a goal of finishing this next year. I am going to finish it, and hopefully even before spring next year. But this is where, this is, oops, my hat. This is Modern Folk Embroidery, Fruits of Plenty. And I am on the July block, and there is what I did in 2 hours and a bit. I think I worked on it another, oops, sorry, hanging threads. I worked on it another couple of evenings, but that's the start of the July blood. Looks like blood dripping down. I'm such a goof. So anyways, that's I do like this. It was nice revisiting an old friend, and so I hope to get a bit done. Like I said, this is a goal to finish this. I would like to get July and August done, and then maybe come January, February, March, April, get it done by April maybe. So that's sort of my plan. We'll see. I got so many. I'm so hooked on this witch's wheel right now. Next was Tarot Cell. This is a stitch along by a Facebook group, and I think it's a Gumroad purchase. Witch's Garden, something like that. And I'm way behind. I started right from the beginning, never finished my whole frame, and got the first 2 done, which is the Fool and the Magician. Gee, I had a choice of full coverage or partial coverage. I did full coverage on the first 2, and then I decided, no, I think I'm going to switch to partial coverage. So I haven't written the words in, but it's the Empress, and I actually did it in the reverse. So I'm going to do my cards all in different orders, but that is what I did. So that's the Empress. Still got to put her, but she's gorgeous. So I actually enjoyed it picking it up again. So I think that's the whole point to all this, is it's fun after they've been sitting for a while. It's easy to ignore them. And then you go, ah, and then you pick it up and start it, and you go, oh, that's why I liked it in the beginning. Oh, I'm getting warm. Ooh, which is warm. Next is Christmas Jewel. Now, I always do kind of enjoy this one. This is a Just Nan, and it's an old pattern. It's really hard to see, but it's a very delicate. It's going to be like a four of these with something in the middle. There's going to be beads and such. So I did a lot of this white over here, which is kind of hard to see in this lighting, but you can see it. So that was good. I had that on as a finish for this year. It's not going to be a finish for this year. There's a lot to do. Oh, I'm getting warm. I'm going to have to take off my cloak because I'm very warm. Oh, by the way, I'm just going to show you this. My husband cut out the cutout of this the other day, and I painted it. And I painted it using, once again, Hello Halloween, their Halloween sampler. That pumpkin face is what I took inspiration for what I did. So we have that hanging up by our door. I just borrowed it for this. I'll put it back. Okay. Okay. Next, which worked out really well because I was supposed to do this on the 20th and I didn't, is Pirates Poltergeist. So this is what it's going to look like when it's done, by Glendon Place, Pirates Poltergeist. I'm using some of my own colors because they call for Rainbow Treasure Braid, and I didn't have, or what do they call for? Yeah, Rainbow Gallery, and I didn't have the Rainbow Gallery, and so I just pulled some Gentle Arts that I thought were similar-ish. So don't know if it's going to turn out, but I'm working on the moon up here. So the moon, and so I finished off the wind that he's blowing, and I'm still working on the moon. So that's what I mostly did. So there, that's pretty awesome. That's my thing. I always say that's pretty awesome. Next, another old favorite. I knew I was going to enjoy picking this up again. I'd like to finish this. I know there's a lot to go, so this is not going to be finished anytime soon, but it is Pandemic. Whoops, my hat. Pandemic. So, because I love working on a 2-hour schedule, not counting stitches. So I did a bunch of the back stitching. What did I do? Where did I go? What did I do? What did I do? Okay, because underneath my needle minder, I did a little bit there, that back stitching, and I started working down here. I did the squirrel down here, and I did some stuff over there. 2 hours goes by fast. Again, I didn't count. I wrote down somewhere how much I got done. In general, I get about 100 stitches. No, yeah, or 150 stitches an hour, something like that. So, but it's all just the joy of it. Excuse me. Ooh. I don't want to keep because it's Halloween, so I'm trying to rush through this. Next is NBC Cell, and I am trying to finish this, so I worked more on my boat. So over here, I worked on the boat. And that's just a needle minder. Jacob, you're always in the way. You go over here, okay? Sorry. So there's what I worked on. The boat, and that's what's looking like so far. I said I was going to get it done this year. I'm going to try. There's a lot of stitching to do. So 2 hours wasn't very much on that. And then I got Stitching Shelf by Amy Stewart. This is a mini, which was a mistake because you really get high confetti and lose definition with a mini. But, you know, looking at it here on the camera, I can actually make out what things are. I think I just got really disappointed when I did this woman here, and I could barely see that it was a woman stitching, but I can see it. So, and I couldn't figure out what the heck this thing is. I think it's a key. But yeah, I worked 2 hours on this. Yeah, it was just, it's a biggie. It's a mini, but it's a biggie. I think that's the way Amy Stewart's are, but I'll bring it a little bit closer. But yeah, you can see the woman. You can sort of make out the key. You can tell there's books. It's what I wanted. So there you go. So, and this is a mini, and the mini's not very big. So I think I'm almost halfway across the top of the, I think that's summer that's on the top. I have to go, or spring. I'm not sure. Then I had a spin. I'm going to just have a sip of coffee just a second. Probably should have paused so I could have more of a drink, but anyways. I had spun birthday cake, and so I stitched on it. Oh, my hair. Ew. I ain't the prettiest witch there is, but that's okay. I got sparkly stuff on my face too, and it's kind of itchy right now. Oh well. Birthday cake. And I decided to switch it up a bit because the white is so hard to see. I switched it to a crew. And I'm not sure if it's more invisible, but it's now right here. So that's 8 crew as opposed to, I think that was like 38, whatever that number is. But so we'll see if that pops a bit more. It kind of looks just dirty. But I'll carry on with it and see how it works. So birthday cake by Carol Manning. Okay, that was my 24 hours of cross stitch. It was fun. I really, really enjoyed it. It worked really well just spending 2 hours doing something. Oh, husband's out doing something. I will now show you my dailies. So I just got 2 to show you. So I'm going to keep it in the hoop, but this is, I'll take the hairband. I don't know if anybody else does this. I've seen 1 or 2. I just use these hair ties to hold. I found the magnets didn't work for me, but I find that works. It does a little bit of teeth marks in the stuff, but not too bad. So this is Twisted Band Sampler. I finished off band, I believe it's number 11, which was this cross stitching here. And now I'm on band 12, I think, if I got it counted right. This one's a little bit of a dent stitch. It's called an upright rice stitch. And it's just a really a dent stitch. So, but 30 minutes a day and I'm making progress. So that's my daily 30. And I believe that is the corner down there, and they're gonna get shorter and it's gonna go quicker. So I'll finish that one off in the next couple of weeks or so. And then the other one, my final one to show you, is Felix. Again, I'm going to keep him in the Q-snap today just because. So a lot of what I worked on, and I don't think you can tell at all, was black. So I did black. This is my corner down here. I just got to that yesterday. And then it's a lot of black. So black was quick when I was the Halloween stitch that my husband gave me took up a lot of time. I was actually really surprised. It'd take up probably close to 3 or 4 hours of stitching each day. And so cut into my daily stuff. So all my other daily things have gone by the wayside. I've been focusing on it. So it was fun. Kind of nice to have that daily commitment over with for a little while too. So that is my stitching. So it's I think there's other things I've been stitching on, but that's the majority of my stitching. So now I'm going to do a little story time. So what I wanted to tell you, sit back for a little story, is I think this is a funny story. So I have this greenhouse. You saw it before. And in my greenhouse, I was growing pepper plants. And it's winding down the end of the season. I still have some tomatoes on some cherry tomatoes on tomato plants. I can't sit back because the brim of the hat. And there was, I got some peppers. They were bell peppers. So one thing, I don't know if everybody knows this, but you can overwinter peppers. You can cut them back, bring them kind of inside. I have a sun deck, so it's not heated, but it's not freezing. So it gets down to, I don't know what temperature. It gets cold, but not freezing over the winter. And then in the summer, springtime, I just put it back into a warm area. I water it during the winter, but not very much. It goes dormant. And then in the spring, you water it some more and it grows and gets all green, and it's already started at plant height as opposed to starting it from seed. So you got a head start. So I did that the year before, but what happened was I lost track as to, and also you transplant and stuff, lost track as to what peppers were peppers. So I thought mostly I had bell peppers. I have tried getting some hot peppers occasionally, but I didn't think they ever grew because we don't get very hot here in the summertime at all. Even in my my greenhouse gets hot, but so I had this I get some little baby bell peppers. Like they're sometimes a little slow to go. Well, there's this really tiny one. Oh, it must have been that big. And it was still yellow. It wasn't the red as everybody else, because sometimes they start green, then they go orange, red, or yellow. You know, we had used all the different kinds. And So I thought, well, this tiny little one, I'm going to pick it. I'll just eat it now instead of, taking it in the house. So I picked it and I chomped on it. It was a habanero pepper. Oh my God. I was like, so luckily I didn't actually bite it off. I just bit it in half. So there were teeth marks around it and the heat came into my mouth. So I was walking around the yard. My husband was out shopping. And so I was walking around the yard and I would grab tomatoes and just shove them in my mouth. And I was just trying to cool it down somehow. I thought, well, we could use that. That's good. It's got good heat. So we could use this in the cooking. I knew my husband was making spaghetti, like maybe he can put in the spaghetti sauce. Sorry about the teeth marks, but I didn't like really eat it. I just bit into it. So I brought it in the house and I explained it to my husband. I told him it was a hot pepper. He likes heat. He likes spices. I never liked spices before I met him, but I'm learning to like spices. And so he makes me a salad every day. So he's making the salad and he, and he was making the spaghetti sauce, whatever. And he cut the little pepper, it's very small, and just the bottom half. And I guess he ate it and he thought that wasn't too spicy. He goes, that's okay. That's not too spicy. And then he even yelled out to me, he says, that pepper's not that spicy. I go, okay, I found it spicy. Then he ate the other half, the top half with the seeds. And he was just like, oh, that's hot, and trying to getting some milk and guzzling some milk. And it's like, okay, maybe we don't judge till we eat the whole pepper. So, and it was interesting how it was just a heat. There wasn't a lot of flavor. It's just a heat. So that's my habanero pepper story. So I think I still know which plant it is. I don't know if I put a marker on it. Yeah. So we'll see next year if we can, again, we'll have a head start if I can grow peppers again. I might have lost track of who he is already, but hopefully not. By the way, welcome all my new subscribers. I've been getting a few. If you're new here, how did you find me? I'd love to know. I've been looking to see if somebody shouted me out and I can't, there are people I know that have shouted me out, but I'm not sure where y'all came from. So let me know. And I'd also be curious as to where everybody actually lives. I know I have some viewers that it's kind of weird having viewers from all over the world. It's pretty wild. I know I had a contest winner and she was in, I believe, New Zealand. I mailed her a thing. And then there was another contest winner that was in the States. And then there was one that a person who sent me some stitchy kindness from Luxembourg. And so it's really amazing to have people from all over the world. Do you think you're just talking to your little area? And the thought that you're actually reaching so far away is just amazing. So yeah. And one of my viewers commented on Chicken Hawk last week. And so I wonder, I know this is multiple questions, but tell me about your pets. I'm kind of curious of what kind of pets everyone has. And I just remembered I'm going to do a giveaway. So just 1 minute. Okay, I'm back. So my giveaway, no reason just to do a giveaway. I got this in one of the Black Needle Society boxes, and it's just not me. And so it is ink circles, and it is called 5 o'clock. It is 151 by 151, and it's sort of a drink theme. See if it focused. So if you're interested in this, it's just a small little pattern. Well, it's got 4 pages. So it's actually not that small, but still 151 by 151. If you're interested in this, say cheers. Cheers. Speaking of drinking, we went to Rocky Horror Picture Show. We went to that on Saturday night, and they did, they had the movie, and then they had actors in the front that sort of sang and danced. And they would sit off to the side every once in a while, but when there was usually a dance scene, they'd get up and dance. They had specialty drinks there we have a place called Still Fired Distillery that makes alcohol, and one of theirs is moonshine, I believe. And whoo, I had one of those drinks. It had candy in it. It had strawberry syrup in it. Oh, it was really, really tasty. And it had like a Kahlua type drink in it, and then moonshine. And as soon as you drink it, it's like, woo, that's alcoholic, all right. I don't drink a lot. But I did have 2 drinks there, which was fun. And paid for it afterwards, because what happens is I actually don't sleep. Like, I can be tired and I just can't sleep after alcohol. And so I wasn't hungover the next day, but I just was like, crap. Another giveaway that I think I will do, just because maybe it'll be easy. And so, as usual, don't use the trigger words. Such a weird word. Or the words you're not supposed to use. I think everybody knows all these rules. You have to be 18 or over so I can ask for your address. I will mail this anywhere. Sorry, this got a little bit bent. I'm just taking it out of the shiny stuff. But this I got in a project bag that I had ordered. It is by, I believe, Twin Peak Primitives, and it's called Christmas Tree Farm. So I'm going to give this away. So say Christmas and cheers. So 2 different holidays coming up, but this is a good time to give away these sort of things, because then you can get it before those holidays. The cheers one's sort of like a New Year's Day one or New Year's Eve one. So Christmas and cheers for those 2. You can enter in both, but you only can win one. Yeah, I think that's fair. That's fair. Okay. So, sorry, I got a frog in my throat. So, back to, I was talking about how in the last video somebody said, oh, they like my bird Chicken Hawk, and they wanted to know more about birds. So I'm going to tell you one little story. So this is when my husband and I first got married, we actually still lived in 2 separate provinces. He lived in Alberta and I lived in BC. He went through a little bit of time he had some chemotherapy and such, and so I was living with him for about 3 months, and then my leave from work had ended and I had to go back home. And when I'd gone there, I brought my 2 cats, and he had his 2 birds and 1 dog, our family essentially, and his other cat. And we when I was going back home, I could have just taken the 2 cats, but at the last minute I said, what if I took Chicken Hawk, our little green-cheeked conure, and 1 of the cats, and left the other cat? My idea was that I would get more used to a bird and the animals would get more used to each other. And so I did that. I just took Caney and Chicken Hawk home with me. I was driving. Wow, now I can't remember. He was driving me back. Anyways, somehow I got them back. And I got home, and then because just us living apart and things happening, I would go visit him. So flights from where I lived to where he lived, they were just a couple $100. It wasn't too bad, and it's just a day flight, or it's hours, but with the connection, it always took pretty much a day. So I had to find, like, if I go for a weekend or whatever, somebody to look after. So there was this, she really called herself the Crazy Bird Lady, and she had a boarding place for birds. So the first time I was leaving, I took Chicken Hawk there, and she had a room with all green-cheeked conures, and she says, oh, this will be great. We'll put them in here. They're all in this little room together, and she lets them out of the cage and they can socialize a bit. Well, when I went to go back, she wasn't there. It was a helper that was there, somebody different. And I went to go back, and they take me to the room, and they said, which one's yours? They all looked the same. I knew which was my cage, but the birds are all flying around. Now, there was a bird that was on Chicken Hawk's cage. They all looked the same. Now, one thing that's neat about Chicken Hawk is they don't have, green cheek conures don't have great vocalism, but he always says, I'm Chicken Hawk, Chicken Hawk, I'm Chicken Hawk. That's what he says in a really high-pitched voice. You can't actually, it's Chicken Hawk he's saying. You can't actually understand it until you get used to it. But he won't, birds tend to only vocalize when they want to vocalize. And often it's when you're not paying attention. He tends to do it when he's in a cuddly type mood. So he'll do it when he's like on your shoulder, cuddling away. He doesn't do it a lot though. Rarely does it on demand. So I'm like hoping like, Chicken Hawk, that one of the birds. So there was one bird that seemed to be kind of responding to me. It was near his cage. So I'm like, that's Chicken Hawk. So we get him in his cage, take him away, and I'm driving, and I'm just like, still like, is that Chicken Hawk? Hello, Chicken Hawk. Hello, Chicken Hawk. Just waiting for him to say something. Now, he did do what he usually does and climbs up. But until he says Chicken Hawk, I'm not sure that I got the right bird. It took 2 or 3 days before he finally said Chicken Hawk. And you better believe every time he wasn't saying it, I'm like, do I have the right bird? How do you know? But in the end, I did have the right birds. But that was a really tough test early on in just getting a bird. So that's my little Chicken Hawk story. So I just want to know, do you have any pets, or do you have any pet stories? Feel free to share. I know there's a lot of things to put in comments. Do whatever. Make sure you put in, and you don't have to just put in the word Christmas and cheers, but if you can incorporate them in the pet story, all the better. Hey. And wow, I don't know what I wrote there. Wow. Oh, okay. I'm not going to do the spinning wheel draw today because right now I'm just really into stitching. I'm going to give it a bit of a break. Maybe next time I'll do the spinning wheel draw. Probably just going to work on other things because I feel just, yeah, that's all. Lastly, I was just going to mention how it was interesting, the Halloween Hill that my husband bought it when we went to a store in Moncton, the Stitching Bug, and I've gone in there looking at all the patterns, and then I picked out the witch's wheel, and I picked out another one, and I kitted them up, and then he's like, can you go away? Can you go? You should leave. You should. And that's when I knew he was going to be buying me something. That's fine. So I went out to the car, and then he came back with his little package, and later on, then I find out slowly, and I'm like, it was lucky he didn't pick something that I'd already had, because he may not know all the things I have stashed, because I have some things that are just PDFs too. But he picked out something that I had never even seen, never been on my radar. And I always think that that's kind of a perfect gift, is when you get somebody something that they didn't even know they wanted. So it's outside of their likes or their style, but as soon as I started stitching it, I started really enjoying it. So it wasn't something I necessarily would have picked for myself, but I'm happy he did pick it for me, because it opened up my realm of things. And it's cool. Like they're introducing you to something new. So that's so neat. So that to me is a perfect gift, is when you can get somebody something, introduce something new to them that they didn't even know that they wanted. So that goes along with the Christmas themes and everything. So I'm going to throw in at the end here a little bit of my Happy Halloween again that I had at the beginning, and a little bit of video of we went to a town. We've been looking for a truck to replace our truck that we lost. and they have pumpkin people. And they also, when we were going to go look at the pumpkin people, we also saw somebody's yard that did a fantastic job at decorating for Halloween. So I'll just include that here at the end. But thank you everybody for joining me. And I hope you all have a happy Halloween. I got to get this up now so that it'll be timely, but happy Halloween. Bye.
I was expecting.
Well, I didn't know what you were expecting because...
Go this way first.
Oh, and then get the eyeballs.
There you go.
He was looking at you. Ooh. That's a good spider too. Kentville, and we're at they got pumpkin people. This guy's a little rotten. Oh no, he's got all fungused up. Oh my gosh. And a moose, and we got a bear over here. All sorts of pumpkin people, pumpkin headed. It's a wolf. Oh, those are pretty nice. Wow. Wow, that's they'll keep be durable. And they have these all up over town. Pretty cool.
That guy's leaking.
Oh gosh. There was another one that was rotting over there.
Or is it made to look like it's rotting?
No, I think they're really rotting.
Okay.
I think they're actually really.
This is the end of it.
Because they're popping through the top.
Right.
Which is kind of funny.
Why?
Yes. Well, just that they're rotting so fast.
Yeah, it's a munch.
Okay.
Look at ours in the front porch.
Yeah.
Because they